A narcissist's greatest fear is losing control, and the worst thing you can do is show them they never had it. They thrive on attention and emotional turmoil, draining your energy until you question your own reality. But here's the truth: you don't need to argue or seek revenge. Take back your mental clarity and inner strength. Today, you'll discover 7 Stoic strategies to render them powerless, not through fighting or shouting, but by becoming unshakable from within. Ready to see how it's done? First strategy: starve their need for attention. Narcissists feed on your reactions, craving both praise and conflict. The more you react, the stronger they become. Stoic philosophers knew that what you ignore loses its power over you. I learned this working with someone who constantly sought drama. Every insult, every jab was a trap. When I stopped reacting, their game fell apart. Silence unnerves them more than any outburst. Marcus Aurelius said, "A lion doesn't lose sleep over the opinions of sheep." Ask yourself, what happens when you stop giving them the attention they demand? Second strategy: set unbreakable boundaries. Narcissists despise limits because they strip away their control. I had a colleague who constantly overstepped late-night calls, last-minute demands. At first, I explained and justified my refusals, but that only fueled their pressure. Then I stopped explaining, simply said no, and stood firm. It was tense, but everything shifted. Epictetus taught that you control your mind, not external events. Boundaries aren't walls, they're doors. You choose to lock. When was the last time you closed a door without apologizing? Third strategy: embody Stoic calm. Narcissists feed on your emotional reactions. They push until fear makes you easier to control. I once dealt with a confrontational manager. One day, I chose not to engage. He shouted. I stayed calm, speaking slowly, without emotion. The shift was instant. He lost momentum because I gave him nothing to grip onto. Seneca said, "The wise person is content with their lot." Calm isn't weakness, it's strength in disguise. What would happen if you met chaos with silence? Fourth strategy: refuse to justify yourself. Narcissists want you on the defensive, forcing you to explain every choice so they can twist your words. I learned this from a friend who always questioned my decisions. At first, I explained, but it never helped. Then I stopped. I said no and left it there. Marcus Aurelius said, "Don't waste time arguing what a good person should be. Be one." When you act with quiet certainty, you shut their door of control. What if you stopped explaining and let your actions speak? Fifth strategy: succeed quietly. Nothing unsettles a narcissist more than success. They can't manipulate. I worked with someone who mocked my small wins, so I stopped sharing them. I focused on my work and let results speak. Over time, they grew restless, with nothing left to attack. Marcus Aurelius wrote that the best revenge is to be unlike your enemy. Build in silence and let progress be your response. What if you stopped proving yourself and became untouchable? You can understand a narcissist without falling into their trap. I worked with a colleague who thrived on conflict. Instead of reacting, I studied their behavior. It revealed more about human nature than any book. Seneca said, "We suffer more in imagination than in reality." When you see them as a lesson, not a threat, their power fades. Can you observe without getting entangled? That's where true freedom begins. Sixth strategy: Practice empathy without attachment. I learned to view a manipulative colleague with curiosity rather than anger. By staying detached, I avoided their emotional traps. What if you saw their behavior as a puzzle to understand, not a battle to fight? Seventh strategy: walk away and never look back. Sometimes, the only way to win is to leave. I saw a friend trapped in a cycle of manipulation, always hoping for change that never came. The day he walked away, he reclaimed his peace. Marcus Aurelius said, "Your life's happiness depends on the quality of your thoughts." Choosing to walk away is choosing freedom over control. Conclusion: reclaim your inner strength. These 7 strategies aren't about revenge, they're about liberation. Each one pulls you out of their grasp and anchors you in your own power. Stoicism teaches that true strength comes from mastering yourself, not others. When you stop letting them control the game, you rise above. Are you ready to reclaim your power and live untouchable? Share your thoughts and start your transformation today.